What's the dumbest thing your culture does? The whole garter thing at weddings. My friend had an outdoor wedding in the middle of a Texas summer. The last thing I'd want to touch is some sweat-drenched cloth from his now ex-wife's thigh. So of course when she threw it or whatever, it landed directly in front of me. I just stood there. My parents and others were pressuring me to pick it up, but there was no way in hell I was touching that fucking thing. Eventually someone else came by and grabbed it. Afterwards my parents said I was rude. Some other younger people agreed with me. As an American, in a separate room. Do we think cave people kept their young in a different cave? It just isn't logical at all. To take a helpless creature out of a warm enclosed space, their mother's womb, and put it isolation, with no blankets because they'll choke or hurt themselves. Of course they're going to scream and cry. I understand parents could accidentally roll onto a baby, but that's why you put the bassinet next to the bed. The idea of making a baby cry it out is insane. I wouldn't call it dumb per se, but definitely necessary torture. A mountain tribe in my country serves a chicken stew meal. Prior to cooking, the live chicken is hung by its feet. It is then beaten with a small stick throughout the whole body without breaking the skin or bones. This process bruises the chicken, giving the skin a different texture and flavor. That's what I find to be unnecessary, since it just causes the chicken unneeded pain. There is this thing in Iranian culture, which is called tariff. The definition goes something like this: tariff is the act of offering something in a manner sufficient to demonstrate sincerity, but is simply a facade to appear more genuine than one actually is. It can be shown by conduct, an offer, or by any means in which there appears to be an intent to tender to another. You see it pretty much everywhere, and it's just annoying to deal with. Skiing. The prices are rising each year. It's barely affordable anymore. While climate change is killing the whole industry, they mostly use artificial snow now. Uneven, that turns to sludge. But there are record numbers of people doing it, complaining every minute, because staying home is unthinkable. I'm there right now, sitting in a hotel room watching the rain wash the last shreds of snow from the slopes. Family insisted, kill me. I struggle with social expectations and traditions. I think that most things fit this description for me. I often feel that most things we do are from cultural conditioning that I didn't get the memo for. I'm also very stubborn and often refuse to acknowledge these expectations just out of principle, sort of just because I don't do well with the pressure and want to fight it, I guess. Disagreeable in general. Violating others' rights but demanding yours are respected, and trying to make people feel useless because they don't care about or value your ideas of work and or productivity. Male infant circumcision in America. 30 of the males on the planet are cut, but the vast majority are Muslim and do so for religious reasons. Core is one of the few places on earth where doctors believe males need to be circumcised to be healthy, and go as far as encouraging new parents to have genital surgery on their healthy baby boys for it, based on how many children they bring to the world. So they live in poverty but have like 7 or 8 babies. Then they try to sell the kids because their land is also very close to another country border. They also tend to be heavy drinkers. Is a shit show tbh. Media talking about miracles as if they were real, statues of the Virgin Mary crying blood. People visiting sanctuaries to get personal miracles from the same God who gave them a disease. According to our civil code, stealing money from gullible people with superstition and be manipulative is a crime, but the Catholic Church gets a free pass. Jewish complaining about stuff is a shared cultural bonding exercise. Example, if I go out to eat with my extended Jewish family, no matter how good the experience is, almost every single one will find something to complain about, and then everyone agrees with them. I get why it happens, but sometimes it's so much. We somehow manage to remove the nutrients from our food and may buying over-processed crap the norm. Not that I think cooking will ever totally die out here, but many people easily go their whole lives not learning how to cook a real and healthy meal. Also medical care focused on symptoms and not causes. Australia taking out unnecessary loans. People here are often crazy over leverage. It's normal to hear, "Oh, I've just paid off my car, so time to get a new one with a new loan," when their car is only a few years old. Mentality has probably changed a bit since the cost of living crisis though. At a certain age, teenage girls' feet are broken and tightly binded to change their feet shape and size. Then the feet look like this. Warning might make some people uncomfortable looking at it. Telling kids about their glorious future if they go to university, when, actually, the only thing waiting for them if they follow this path is job insecurity. At the same time, finding electricians or carpenters in a damn nightmare, and they can charge almost as much as they want. I come from small village in former Soviet Russia. We have game we play here where we put steering wheel up our ass and let our friend drive us around town. It's sort of a coming of age thing that most of us do when we turn 5. We even let grandparents get on for ride. Drive through the crowd that also have people on them who throw stuff at the crowd, all while everyone is wearing stupid outfits, getting super drunk, and plays the most simple music you can imagine. As an American, gender reveal parties, like, it's a boy girl, yay. I get inviting some friends over and maybe a special cake, but things have gotten utterly insane. I'm worried someone will launch an actual nuke at some point for one of these damn parties. We will batter and deep fry literally everything: tomatoes, mushrooms, pieces of cheese, liver, squashes, steak, green beans, onions, a hot dog's wiener or sausage. We do both. Alligator. If you can find it here, somebody somewhere is going to deep fry it. Work yourself to death. If you don't, you're lazy. Sometimes I can't believe how crazy work culture gets in Germany. Bragging about going to work no matter how sick you are. Infecting co-workers. You get called lazy for working less than a 40-hour week. Thinking people who smoke weed turn into idiot crackheads, and such a stigma around weed addict will probably stay illegal for 30 more years until all the elderly politicians are wiped. But they get drunk each weekend. This does my head in. Australia. So it's a pretty long list. On a national level, digging up our natural environment to shill our resources overseas. On an individual level, I know a lot of people who have drunk themselves to death or in the process of it. Limpieza de huevo. So many good eggs just wasted on trying to suck out negative energies out of your body. A fucking egg isn't gonna fix the fact that your problems were caused by you fucking your sister's husband, Tia Pepper. Kill your kids in the name of honor can be for things as ridiculous as finding out your daughter texted someone or has a TikTok account. Edit and avoid any meaningful punishment from the law. NYC area middle class. Once you hit 65-70, move to Boca Raton and abandon everyone, but at the same time guilt them into visiting annually at the minimum. And just spend money on almost anything. Deep women with a whip are throwing buckets of cold water on them as a part of the Easter tradition, expecting money, sweets and food for it and masking it as something beneficial for the woman. We love guns way too much. I think it makes people who are not intelligent feel like they are in control of something. Too many random shootings. More guns. Sorry guys. It's not working. Obsess over any Western celebrity, even hint of local blood. Also obsess over and worship usually white or East Asian foreigners who are barely or semi-fluent in our language. Demonize everything. A guy on TikTok said somebody got possessed through marijuana. Come on now, people. Jeez. Also was told Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Antichrist. I just can't. I live in a mega diverse country. Tabos love to get small critters from the jungle and make them fight Pokemon style. From the smallest beetle to the fairly large water buffaloes. Document everyday mundane shit on the internet and call it influencing. Let me show you what I eat for breakfast as a gluten-intolerant, anxiety-ridden professional dog walker. I'm not going to change what I'm doing to a better, more efficient way of doing things because that's the way it's always been done. Seems to be incredibly common where I live. We have show kitchens, marble benches, the best appliances money can buy, hardwood cabinets etc., but actually cook in a little butler's pantry that is off the main kitchen. Let people own weapons meant for killing a large number of people, and then act shocked when people use them to kill a large number of people. Oh. And then do nothing about it. Once a year we throw a cheese down a massive hill and people chase it. Lots of people break bones and sprain limbs, but everyone has a great time and do it again the next year, saying oh you must come round for dinner when you have absolutely no intention whatsoever of having that person round for dinner. and would be horrified if they turned up. Treat different genders differently when there's no need. Take offense if somebody loves differently than your imaginary friend in the sky thinks you should. Love. I grew up Mormon. I'd say follow the leaders when they say not to look at any sources. Also, the deep judgment of everyone outside of the Mormon culture is intense. Easter traditions that include beating women and or pouring ice cold water over each other Easter is still very cold here. Yeah, and glorification of Russia. Repeat Sweden's obvious mistakes. Per Söderpåhan, like we say. And I'm not talking about immigration before some of you lot start to drool and wrath. Think that everything and anything good that happens is attributed to God. Good health. It's God. Good grades, that's God. Good sleep. Thank God. Fighting wars and killing soldiers. Almost all cultures do this in the name of patriotism when in fact it is the leader's incapacity. For delegation, binge drinking is super common, and we pride ourselves on not being American despite being pretty much exactly like the US in most ways that count. Homophobia, racism, I'm always right BC I'm old of mentality. This is fucking engraved in the culture. Third one is driving me nuts. Romania, Moldova. If someone gets in a serious accident, strangers will pick them up and get them on their feet regardless of what the injuries may be. Getting just as invested in American politics as Americans are. It's at a point where I know more about American politics than my own country's. Being very laid back and assuming things will be okay, and then not doing anything to actually work toward the end. Sure, it'll be grand.